ॐ शुक्लां भरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। ॐ सहना भवतु, सहनौ भुनक्तु, सह वीर्यं करवावहै, तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। अगजानन पद्मार्कं गजाननमहर्निशम् अनेकदन्तं भक्तानाम् एकदन्तमुपास्महे। श्रीमहागणपतये नमः। गुरवे सर्वलोकानां विषजे भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। अस्मद्गुरुचरणारविन्दाभ्यां नमः। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। ज्ञानानन्दमयं देवं निर्मलस्फटिकाकृतिम् आधारं सर्वविद्यानां श्रीहयग्रीवमुपास्महे। श्रीहयग्रीवमूर्तये नमः। सरस्वति नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। श्रीमहासरस्वत्यै नमः। उमाकोमलहस्ताब्ज सम्भावितललाटकम् हिरण्यकुण्डलं वन्दे कुमारं पुष्करस्वजं। வெற்றிவேல் முருகனுக்கு ஹரஹரோஹரா. லோகவீரியம் மகாபூஜ்யம் சர்வரக்ஷாகரம் விபும் பார்வதீஹதயானந்தம் சாஸ்தாரம் பிரணமாம்யகம். சுவாமியே சரணமையப்பா. वागर्ताविव सम्पृक्तौ वागर्त प्रतिपत्तये जगतः पितरौ वन्दे पार्वती परमेश्वरौ। श्रीपार्वती परमेश्वराभ्यां नमः। कोमलं पूजयन् वेणुं श्यामलोऽयं कुमारकः वेदवेद्यं परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। अस्मद्गुरुचरणारविन्दाभ्यां नमः। श्रीकृष्ण गोविन्द हरे मुरारे श्रीनाथ नारायण वासुदेव। श्रीकृष्ण गोविन्द हरे मुरारे श्रीनाथ नारायण वासुदेव। श्रीकृष्ण गोविन्द हरे मुरारे श्रीनाथ नारायण वासुदेव। पीताम्बरं करविराजितचक्रशङ्खकौमोदकी सरसिजं करुणासमुद्रं राधासहायम् अतिसुन्दरमन्दहासं वातालयेशम् अनिशं हृदि भावयामि। कृष्णो रक्षतु मां चराचरगुरुः कृष्णं नमस्ये सदा। कृष्णेनैव सुरक्षितोऽहमसकृत् कृष्णाय दत्तं मनः। कृष्णादेव समुद्भवो मम विभो कृष्णस्य दासोऽस्म्यहम्। कृष्णे भक्तिरचञ्चलास्तु भगवन् हे कृष्ण तुभ्यं नमः। श्रीगुरुवायूरप्पा शरणं। नम्राणां सन्निधत्ते सततमपि पुरस्तैरनभ्यर्थितानपि अर्थान् कामानजस्रं वितरति परमानन्दसान्द्रां गतिं च। इत्थं निःशेषलभ्यो निरवधिकफलः पारिजातो हरे त्वं क्षुद्रं तं शक्रवाटी ध्रुममभिलषति व्यर्थमर्त्यव्रजोऽयम्। श्रीगुरुवायूरप्पा शरणं। श्रीभट्टपादम् अनिशं हृदि भावयामि। वंशीविभूषितकरात् नवनीरदाभात् पीताम्बरात् अरुणबिम्बफलादरोष्टात् पूर्णेन्दुसुन्दरमुखात् अरविन्दनेत्रात् कृष्णात् परं किमपि तत्त्वमहं न जाने। കൈരണ്ടും കൂപ്പി ഞാൻ വീണ്ടുമീറക്കുന്നു നീരജലോചന നിന്നോടായി. ഏതീനു മന്യനെ കുമ്പിടേണ്ട തോറും രീതിയിൽ നീ എന്നെ പാലിക്കെന്നായി. കൃഷ്ണ ഹരേ ജയ കൃഷ്ണ ഹരേ ജയ കൃഷ്ണ ഹരേ ജയ കൃഷ്ണ ഹരേ. Good morning, everyone. Okay, so I think we just had to review 51 today. Maybe Madhu, can you do 51?
Yeah. Shri Krishnaya Parabrahmane Namaha. Dashakam 51. Aghasura Vadha Varnanam. Kadachana Vrajashishubhis Samam Bhavan Vanashane Vihitamatif Pragetaram समावृतो बहुतरवत्समण्डलैः मण्डलैः सते मनैर्निरगमदीशजेमनैः विनिर्यतस्तव चरणाम्बुजद्वयात् उदञ्चितं त्रिभुवनपावनं रजः महर्षयः पुलकदरैः कलेबरैः उदूहिरे धृतभवदीक्षणोत्सवाः प्रचारयत्यविरलशाद्वलेतले पशून् विभो भवति समं कुमारकैः अघासुरोऽन्यरुणदघाय वर्तनीं भयानकः सपदि शयानकाकृतिः महाचलप्रतिमतनोर्गुहानिभप्रसारितप्रथितमुखस्य कानने मुखोदरं विहरणकौतुकाद्गताः कुमारकाः किमपि विदूरगे त्वयि प्रमादतः प्रविशति पन्नगोदरं क्वथत्तनौ पशुपकुले स वात्सके विदन्निदं त्वमपि विदन्निदं
विवेशित प्रभु
विदन्निदं त्वमपि विवेशितः प्रभो सुहृज्जनं विशरणमाशु रक्षितुम् गलोदरे विपुलितवर्ष्मणा त्वया महोरगे लुठति निरुद्धमारुते द्रुतं भवान् विदलितकण्ठमण्डलो विमोचयन् पशून् विनिर्ययौ क्षणं दिवि त्वदुपगमार्थमास्थितं महासुरप्रभव महो महत् विनिर्गते त्वयि तु तुलीनमज्जसा नभस्थले ननुतुरथो जगुस्सुराः सविस्मयः सविस्मयैः कमलभवादिभिः सुरैः अनुद्रुतस्तदनुगतः कुमारकैः दिने पुनस्तरुणदशामुपेयुषि स्वकैर्भवानतनुत भोजनोत्सवम् विषाणिकामपि मुरलीं नितम्बके निवेशयन् कबलधरः कराम्बुजे प्रहासयन् कलवचनैः कुमारकान् बुभोजिथ त्रिदशगणैर्मुदानुतः सुखाशनन्त्विह गपगोपमण्डले मखाशनात् प्रियमिव देवमण्डले इति स्तुतस्त्रिदशवरैर्जगत्पते मरुत्पुरी निलय गदात् प्रपाहि माम्. Shri Krishnaya Parabrahmane Namaha.
Very good. Just the first lines, one small correction there. Tviha tava.
Which one?
Sukashan. There's answer 10.
Stance. Okay.
Sukashanam tviha tava gopamandale. Okay.
Sukashanam tviha.
Tviha, yeah.
Tviha. Okay, thank you.
Okay, all right. Let's continue with 52. Before we start, just a quick. So, I don't know how many of you know, but Venkat, Pratibha, who live in Barrington, they have been old students of mine. They have actually completed up to 50 chapters, 50 Dasakams of Narayaneeyam, but unfortunately, they had to take a break. So, they're kind of joining our batch to continue from here. So, you might have seen them from Devi Mahatmyam and other places, but they're in Barrington. So, I just wanted to call that out. So, you're not surprised who's the new person if you didn't know that. Thanks, Venkat and Pratibha.
Radha Krishna, Rajesh. Radha Krishna, everyone.
Yeah. So they've already finished 50 Dashakams or something.
Yeah, sure.
They had to take a break. So anyway.
Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah.
So I think we finished the meaning up to, I think we did the full meaning of 52, right? I think we just have to continue from stanza 8 in terms of The same. Okay. So Padmaja Ramesh, you can be a student, and Jyoti Dev, you can be a student. Just answer 8 or 52. प्रत्येकमेव कमला परिलालिताङ्गान् भोगीन्द्र भोगशयनान् नयनाभिरामान् लीलानिमीलितदृशः सनकादियोग्यव्यासेवितान् कमलभूर्भवतो ददर्श. This is where Brahma, like, I'm not going to go into the detailed meaning because you already covered it, but Brahma first saw all of those boys and the calves, everybody being Krishna. Now he's actually seeing what he originally saw in Vaikuntham long time back, which is Narayana lying in Adishesha, and all of them surrounding Narayana and worshipping him, including himself, right? So, Pratyekameva Kamala Parilalitangan, comma, Bhogindra Bhoga Shayanan Nayanabhiraman Leela Nimilita Drishaha, put a is Drishas Sanakadi Yogi, put a plus Vyasevitan Kamalabhur Bhavato Dadarsha. Kamalabhur referring to Brahma. प्रत्येकमेव कमला परिलालिताङ्गान् भोगीन्द्र भोगशयनान् नयनाभिरामान् लीलानिमीलितदृशः सनकादियोग्यव्यासेवितान् कमलभूर्भवतो ददर्श.
प्रत्येकमेव कमला परिलालिताङ्गान् भोगीन्द्र भोगशयनान् नयनाभिरामान् लीलानिमीलितदृशः सनकादियोगिव्यासेवितान् कमलभूर्भवतो ददर्श. प्रत्येकमेव कमला परिलालिताङ्गान् भोगीन्द्र भोगशयनान् नयनाभिरामान् लीलानिमीलितदृशः सनकादियोगिव्यासेवितान् कमलभूर्भवतो ददर्श.
प्रत्येकमेव कमला परिलालिताङ्गान् भोगीन्द्रभोगशयनान् नयनाभिरामान् लीलानिमीलितदृशः सनकादियोगिव्यासेवितान् कमलभूर्भवतो ददर्श. प्रत्येकमेव कमला परिलालिताङ्गान् भोगीन्द्रभोगशयनान् नयनाभिरामान् लीलानिमीलितदृशः सनकादियोगिव्यासेवितान् कमलभूर्भवतो ददर्श.
Answer 9.
Rajesh, just a quick question. This Kamala Pari, is it Lalitangan or Lalitangan?
First La only, not the La, not the Malayalam La, just the La.
Okay.
Lalitangan.
Okay, thank you.
Also, Rajesh ji, is that third line Leela Nimilita or Nimilita?
Ni, short ni, long me, short li again.
Okay.
Nimilita.
Nimilita. Okay. Thank you.
Stanza 9. Narayana kritima sankyatamam nirikshya sarvatra sevakamapi swamavekshya dhata maya nimagna hridayo vimumohayavat eko bhabhuvita dada kabalardhapanihi. So then he saw in each of those, like we saw last time, he saw himself, Brahma also worshipping each of those Narayanas as well. And then he was getting jolted. He comes back to his sense. And finally, all of that disappears. And he sees you in Krishna walking around with the half-eaten ball of rice in your hand, looking for the calves and looking for the boys. Narayana Kritim, up to that, cannot break it. But you can break it that ma if you want. Narayana Kritim Asankyatamam Nirikshya, comma, Sarvatra Sevakamapi Swamavekshya Dhata Maya Nimagna Hridayo Vimumoha Yavat, put it at the end of that line and comma, Yavat. Then the Deko becomes Eko. Eko Bhabhuvita Tada Kabalardha Panihi. Narayana kritima sankyatamam nirikshya sarvatra sevakamapi swamavekshya dhata maya nimagna hridayo vimumohayavat एको बभूवित तदा कबलार्धपाणिः.
नारायणाकृतिमसङ्ख्यतमां निरीक्ष्य सर्वत्र सेवकमपि स्वमवेक्ष्य धाता मायानिमग्नहृदयो विमुमोह यावत् एको बभूविथ तदा कबलार्धपाणिः. नारायणाकृतिमसङ्ख्यतमां निरीक्ष्य सर्वत्र सेवकमपि स्वमवेक्ष्य धाता मायानिमग्नहृदयो विमुमोह यावत् एको बभूविथ तदा कबलार्धपाणिः.
नारायणाकृतिमसङ्ख्यतमां निरीक्ष्य सर्वत्र सेवकमपि स्वमवेक्ष्य धाता मायानिमग्नहृदयो विमुमोह यावत् एको बभूविथ तदा कबलार्धपाणिः. नारायणाकृतिमसङ्ख्यतमां निरीक्ष्य सर्वत्र सेवकमपि स्वमवेक्ष्य धाता मायानिमग्नहृदयो विमुमोह यावत् एको बभूविथ तदा कबलार्धपाणिः.
नश्यन् मदे तदनु विश्वपतिं मुहुस्त्वां नत्वा च नूतवति धातरि धाम याते पोतैः put a is instead of the visarga potais samam pramuditaihi put a f to join pramuditaif pravishan niketam vatalayadhipa vibho paripahi rogat. So with this, so Krishna, you established to Brahma that you are Vishwapatim, you are the Lord of the universe, and then you showcase that to Brahma, and then all of you then got back home. Nashyan made tadanu Vishwapatim muhustvam natva cha nutavati dhatari dhamayate potai samam pramuditai pravishan niketam vatalayadhipa vibho paripahi rogat.
नश्यन्मदे तदनु विश्वपतिं मुहुस्त्वां नत्वा च नूतवति धातरि धामयाते पोतैः समं प्रमुदितैः प्रविशन्निकेतं वातालयाधिप विभो परिपाहि रोगात्. नश्यन्मदे तदनु विश्वपतिं मुहुस्त्वां नत्वा च नूतवति धातरि धामयाते पोतैः समं प्रमुदितैः प्रविशन्निकेतं वातालयाधिप विभो परिपाहि रोगात्.
नश्यन्मदे तदनु विश्वपतिं मुहुस्त्वां नत्वा च नूतवति धातरि धामयाते पोतैः समं प्रमुदितैः प्रविशन्निकेतं वातालयाधिप विभो परिपाहि रोगात्. नश्यन्मदे तदनु विश्वपतिं मुहुस्त्वां नत्वा च नूतवति धातरि धामयाते पोतैः समं प्रमुदितैः प्रविशन्निकेतं वातालयाधिप विभो परिपाहि रोगात्.
Naya Parabrahmane Namaha. Okay, go to Dasakam 53. 53 will kind of a little bit, it's only one small story there, so but we'll kind of rush through the meaning in that and get to the main one, which is 54, 55 is the Kali and Ardhanam and how Kaliya comes to Yamuna and all of that. 3 Dashakams, 54, 55, 56. So 53 is Dhenukasura Badha Varnanam. Atitya balyam jagadam pate tvam upetya paugandavayo manognyam upeksha vatsavanamutsavena pravartata goganapalanayam. So last time I was telling you that when whatever happened in the in the Balya Vayasam, which is like up to the age of 5, they told them when they reached the age of 6, that's when the boys said as if it happened yesterday, right? Like during the Aghasura episode as well as the Brahma episode, all of that. Anyway, so now that you have come to the Pauganda age, which is the age between 6 to 10, so they're graduating, like how we go from kindergarten to elementary school, they're graduating to now tending to cows instead of calves. So up to the age of 5, they were only tending to calves, and now Krishna, you all are graduating, and now you are now able to graze the cows, right? So with that, you are all getting very excited because you have big things to take care of, and you all then continue to go and do your daily duties, which is to take the cows out there to graze. Atitya balyam jagatam pate tvam, that mu, you just break it, im, tvam, comma. Next word starts with the u. Upetya pauganda vayo manognyam. Upeksha vatsavanam utsavena. Just break it that ma if you want. Utsavena is just, utsavam means a festival, but the utsavena, the root meaning is a lot of enthusiasm, because when you go to a festival, you are all very active and energized and enthusiastic. So that's what is happening here. Utsavena means they are all very enthusiastic that they are going to go and graze cows. So upeksha vatsavanam utsavena, comma, pravarthatha go gana palanayam. Atitya balyam jagatam pate tvam upetya pauganda vayo manognyam upeksha vatsavanam utsavena pravarthata go gana palanayam.
अतीत्य बाल्यं जगतां पते त्वम् उपेत्य पौगण्डवयो मनोज्ञम् उपेक्ष्य वत्सावनमुत्सवेन प्रावर्तथा गोगणपालनायाम् अतीत्य बाल्यं जगतां पते त्वम् उपेत्य पौगण्डवयो मनोज्ञम् उपेक्ष्य वत्सावनमुत्सवेन प्रावर्तथा गोगणपालनायाम्
अधीत्य बाल्यं जगदां पदे त्वम् उपेत्य पौगण्डवयो मनोज्ञम् उपेक्ष्य वत्सावनमुत्सवेन प्रावर्तथा गोगणपालनायाम् अधीत्य बाल्यं जगदां पदे त्वम् उपेत्य पौगण्डवयो मनोज्ञम् उपेक्ष्य वत्सावनमुत्सवेन प्रावर्तथा गोगणपालनायाम्.
उपक्रमस्यानुगुणैव सेयं मरुत्पुराधीश तव प्रवृत्तिः गोत्रापरित्राणकृतेव तीर्णः तदेव देवारभतास्तथा तथायत्. So here he's just using the word gotra, the a ends with the a sound there couple of times. I think essentially just saying Krishna that one meaning of gotra is earth, other meaning of gotra is cows. So he's saying, Krishna, your purpose of incarnating is to protect the earth, gotra. So to get ready for protecting that gotra, you're starting with taking care of the gotra of cows. So with that, you're going into grazing the cow. So you're also, it's just kind of, it's like a leading indicator of what you're going to be doing later. Upakramasyanu gunaiva, it's one word, gunaiva seyam, comma, marutpuradhisha tava pravrittihi, comma, gotra paritrana kriteva tirnaha. So put a visarga that is goes away, kriteva tirnaha, comma, tadeva devarabhatas. That's one word because a double S symbol is coming there. So tadeva devarabhatas tada yat. Upakramasyanu sehyam marutpuradhisha tava pravrittihi gotra paritrana kriteva tirnaha tadeva devarabhatas tada yat.
उपक्रमस्यानुगुणैव सेयं मरुत्पुराधीश तव प्रवृत्तिः गोत्रापरित्राणकृतेव तीर्णः तदेव देवारभतास्तदा यत् उपक्रमस्यानुगुणैव सेयं मरुत्पुराधीश तव प्रवृत्तिः गोत्रापरित्राणकृतेव तीर्णः तदेव देवारभतास्तदा यत्
उपक्रमास्यानुगुणैव सेयं मरुत्पुराधीश तव प्रवृत्तिः गोत्रापरित्राणकृतेव तीर्णः तदेव देवारभतास्तदा यत् उपक्रमास्यानुगुणैव सेयं मरुत्पुराधीश तव प्रवृत्तिः गोत्रापरित्राणकृतेऽवतीर्णः तदेव देवारबधास्तदायत्.
Jyoti, the first word upakramas. I think you're saying krama. You're adding just upakramasyanu.
Noted.
Sansatni. Kadhapi ramena samam vanhante vanashriyam vikshya charan sukhena Sridama namna swasakhasya vacha modadaga dhenuka kananam tvam. So, it talks about how Krishna, with you going there, the entire Vrindavana forest was like a treat to all the five senses, right? So, which for the ears, all the birds and everything humming was very pleasant to the ears. Then, because there's a cool breeze flowing from Yamuna, which is flowing, that is good for your skin was able to feel the cool breeze. Then smell, of course, the forest smell was giving very nice. The flowers, everything was giving a good smell to you. Eyes, it was very pretty to look at. And the taste, the Yamuna water was tasting. With this, the Vrindavana forest and the Yamuna river were pleasing to all your five senses. So one day, when you had gone along with Balarama, like you saw, sometimes Balarama doesn't go, like we saw in the Aghasura episode, right? So here Balarama is also going this day. So you all went there. So one of your friend called Sridama. So the Sridama will come at a few points. One of Krishna's close friend when he was at Vrindavana. Eventually, Krishna goes to Mathura, he'll then lose touch with him. But so the Sridama, he comes, he's giving a suggestion saying that we keep coming to the same Vrindavana forest. There is another really nice forest called as Dhenuka forest. So why don't we actually go there, right? And we'll see what this next answer. But he suggests that we'll go to this Dhenuka forest. Kadapi Ramena Samam Vanante, Vanashriyam Vikshya Charan Sukhena Sridama Namnaha putta is Namnas Swasakhasya Vacha, Modadaga Dhenuka Kananam Tvam. Kadapi Ramena Samam Vanhante Vanashriyam Vikshya Charan Sukhena Sridama namna swasakhasya vacha modadaga dhenuka kananam tvam.
kada viramena samam vanante vanashriyam vikshya charan sukhena Sridama swasakhasya vacha modadaga dhenuka kananam tvam. Kada viramena samam vanante Vanashriyam vikshya charan sukhena Sridama namna swasakhasya vacha modadaga dhenuka kananam tvam.
तदा विरामेण समं वनान्ते वनश्रियं वीक्ष्य चरन् सुखेन श्रीदामनाम्नः स्वसखस्य वाचा मोदादगाधेनुगकाननं त्वं कदा विरामेण समं वनान्ते वनश्रियं वीक्ष्य चरन् सुखेन श्रीदामनाम्नः स्वसखस्य वाचा मोदादगाधेनुगकाननं त्वम्.
That's a whole. Uttanatali nivahe tvaduktya balena dhuteta balena dhurphya mruduh karaschabhya patat purastat phalot dhenuka dhanavopi. So they said this forest, Dhenuka forest, I don't know which preceded the name, if it is either because there is a demon called Dhenuka in there or because the other way around, that the forest is Dhenukasura, so the demon is called Dhenuka. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So there is like it's in the form of a donkey or an ass, right? And what has happened is multiple people have tried going there and they've actually gotten killed by this demon when they kind of enter. This ass comes to, the donkey comes to fight with them and it actually eats them alive. So that is the forest. But this boy, Sridama, is saying, Krishna, but the fruits there taste really tasty. And these are all like 6-year-old boys, 7-year-old boys. So they're like, why not? Right? Let's give it a shot, right? Let's just go there and try out the fruits. What is the worst that will happen? We can run away or whatever they plan. And then they decide, okay, let's go to that forest and then let's quickly try to grab those fruits and we'll come. So they all go to this forest, which is there, Dhenuka Vanam, they go there. And there Balarama is going and he's shaking the tree where the fruits are there and all the fruits are beginning to fall. At that time, that Dhenukasura is coming in the form of a donkey, along with other more donkeys which are coming as well. So, Uttala Tali Nivahe Tvaduktya, Balena Dhuteta Balena Dorbhyam Mriduhu, put a ich, Mriduh Kharash Chabhyapatat Purastat, Phalotkaro Dhenuka Danavopi. Uttadhatali Nivahe Tvaduktya Balena Dhuteta Balena Dorbhyam Mriduh Kharashchabhyapatat Purastat Phalotkaro Dhenuka Danavopi.
उत्तालताली निवहे त्वदुक्त्या बलेन धूतेऽथ बलेन दोर्भ्यां मृदुः करश्चाभ्यपतत् पुरस्तात् फलोत्करोधेनुकदानवोऽपि उत्तालताली निवहे त्वदुक्त्या बलेन धूतेऽथ बलेन दोर्भ्यां मृदुः खरश्चाभ्यपतत् पुरस्तात् फलोत्करोधेनुकदानवोऽपि
उत्थाळताळी निवहे त्वदुक्त्या बलेन धूदेदबलेन दोर्भ्यां मृदुः करश्चाभ्यपतत् पुरस्ताद् फलोत्करोधेनुगदानवोऽपि उत्थाळताळी निवहे त्वदुक्त्या बलेन धूदेदबलेन दोर्भ्यां मृदुः करश्चाभ्यपतत् पुरस्ताद् फलोत्करोधेनुगदानवोऽपि.
Samudhyato Dhainukapalaneham Katam Vadham Dhainukamadhya Kurve Itiva Matva Dhruvamagrajena Suraugayodharamajhi Ghanastvam. Again, Bhaktaripat being a poet, he's just playing with words. Like in the previous stanza, he used the word Balena twice. One referring to Balarama, Bala. Others with Balena is with force. He was shaking the tree. So here also he's saying that Krishna is telling that Dhainuka means cows also, and Dhenuka is the name of that Asura. So of course he's not in the form of a cow, he's in the form of a donkey, but he's still four-legged creature which walks, right? So Krishna is saying, I am born to protect Dhainukas, which is the herd of cows. So why will I go and try to get rid of this Dhenuka Asura? So Krishna is telling Balarama, it's your turn today, because a couple of times Balarama also will participate. So he says, Balarama, it's your turn today to get rid of this Dhenukasura. So this Dhenukasura, later on Pralambasura is also going to come, who Balarama will get rid of. Anyway, here Krishna tells Balarama, it's your turn. So Balarama then lifts the Dhenukasura because it's a donkey with his legs and then tries to throw it up on a tree. Samudhyato Dhainuka Palaneham, Katam Vadham Dainuka Madhya Kurve Itiva Matva Dhruvam Agrajena, Suraugha Yodharam. So I'm just going to break it into four parts here. Surauga Yodharam Madama Kim Ajighanas Tvam. If you want to break it. Samudhyato Dhainuka Palaneham Katam Vadham Dhainuka Madhya Kurve Itiva Matva Dhruvamagrajena Surauga Yodharam Ajighanastvam.
समुद्यतो धैनुकपालनेहं कथं वधं धैनुकमद्य कुर्वे इतीव मत्वा ध्रुवम् अग्रजेन सुरौघयोद्धारमजीघनस्त्वम् समुद्यतो धैनुकपालनेहं कथं वधं धैनुकमद्य कुर्वे इतीव मत्वा ध्रुवम् अग्रजेन सुरौघयोद्धारमजीघनस्त्वम्
समुद्यतो धैनुकपालनेहं कथं वधं धैनुकमद्य कुर्वे इतीव मत्वा ध्रुवमग्रजेन सुरौघयोद्धारमजीघनस्त्वं समुद्यतो धैनुकपालनेहं कथं वधं धैनुकमद्य कुर्वे इतीव मत्वा ध्रुवमग्रजेन सुरौघयोधारमजीघनस्त्वम्.
That's a 6. तदीह्यभृत्यानभिजम्बुकत्वेनोपागतानग्रजसंयुतस्त्वं जम्बूफलानीव तदा निरास्तः तालेषु खेलन् भगवन् निरास्तः. So this then Balarama then lifts the Dhenukasura, he then twirls it, swings it, and throws it on the trees. And all the other, donkeys also come to fight, which they all get rid of all of them. So they kind of disperse all of these donkeys and everybody away. And Dhenukasura is also then gotten rid of. So then the boys can start enjoying the fruits which are there, right? Tadiya Bhrityanapi. So this word, we're going to join those two lines together there. So you can put a plus. So Jambukatve Nopagatan. So up to that becomes one word. Jambukatve Nopagatan Agraja Samyutas Tvam. So those two lines are together. Jambu Phalaniva Tada Nirastaha. Put the is goes away. Visarga comma. Thaleshu Khelan Bhagavan Nirastaha. So they hit them against the trees, and so all those fruits then fall down. Tadhiya bhrityan abhijambukatvenopagatan samyutastvam jambu phalani vatada nirastah taleshu khelan bhagavan nirastah.
ராஜேஷ், அந்த ஜம்பு 2 தரம் வருது, அது வந்து அந்த பழத்தோட பேரா?
Jambu is, so this kind of the fruits which are there is a jambu phalam, so that's why he's saying that jambu phalam, which is also going to come in the next word jambuka, but yeah.
Okay. Tadiya bhrityanapi jambugatvenopagatan agraja samyutastvam jambu phalaniva tada nirastha taleshu khelan bhagavan nirastha. Tadiya bhrityanapi jambugatvenopagatan agraja samyutastvam jambu phalaniv tada nirastha taleshu khelan bhagavan nirastha.
तदीयभृत्यानभिजम्बुगत्वेनोपागतान् अग्रजसंयुतस्त्वं जम्बूफलानीव तदा निरास्तः तालेषु खेलन् भगवन् निरास्तः. तदीयभृत्यानभिजम्बुगत्वेनोपागतान् अग्रजसंयुतस्त्वं जम्बूफलानीव तदा निरास्तः तालेषु खेलन् भगवन् निरास्तः.
Chapter 7. Vinignate tvayata jambukaugham sanamakatvad varunastadhanim bhayakulo jambukanamatheyam shruti prasiddham vyaditeti manye. So the demon itself, like we said, it keeps changing, the way they're defining it here. So I don't know the exact reason. It starts off by saying it's like a donkey, Dhenukasura. And then it's transitioning and, to a little bit of this jambu, because jambuka means like jackals, right? The coyotes and the jackals which roam the forest. So they're kind of a little bit transitioning it there. So I don't know, maybe it is one of those things which looks like that. So maybe that word is getting a little bit used loosely here. So here, because he says, because you got rid of those jambukas, which are the jackals, Varuna in the Shruti, in Vedas, he's known as Jambuka. So he says that name became infamous when you got rid of Jambuka. Varuna is saying, okay, I don't want to be known by that name as Jambuka. So that's why nobody knows, because Varuna is known as Jambuka in Vedas, but he decided to hide himself, just making a pun here, saying he decided to hide himself because he didn't want to be, gotten rid, because you got rid of Jambuka. So that's why the transition was happening in 6th stanza of bringing the word Jambu, which is Jambu Phalam. And the Jambuka, the second Jambu, which came in the stanza 6 also, was referring to the jackals, right? So, and then he's transitioning to say, because of this, Varuna then continued to remain hiding with that name, because he didn't want to be called as Jambuka. Vinignati tvayata jambu kaugham, sa nama katvad varunas tadani bhayakulo jambuka nama dheyam, shruti prasiddham vyaditeti manye. विनिघ्नते त्वय्यत जम्बुकौघं सनामकत्वाद् वरुणस्तदानीं भयाकुलो जम्बुकनामधेयं श्रुतिप्रसिद्धं व्यदितेति मन्ये.
विनिघ्नति त्वय्यथ जम्बुकौघं स नाम गत्वाद्वरुणस्तदानीं भयाकुलो जम्बुकनामधेयं श्रुतिप्रसिद्धं व्यधितेति मन्ये. विनिघ्नति त्वय्यथ जम्बुकौघं स नाम गत्वाद्वरुणस्तदानीं भयाकुलो जम्बुकनामधेयं श्रुतिप्रसिद्धं व्यधितेति मन्ये.
विनिघ्नति त्वय्यथ जम्बुगौखं स नाम गत्वाद्वरुणस्तदानीं भयाकुलो जम्बुकनामधेयं श्रुतिप्रसिद्धं व्यधितेति मन्ये. विनिघ्नति त्वय्यथ जम्बुगौखं स नाम गत्वाद्वरुणस्तदानीं भयाकुलो जम्बुकनामधेयं श्रुतिप्रसिद्धं व्यधितेति मन्ये.
तवावतारस्य फलं मुरारे सञ्जातमध्येति सुरैर्नुतस्त्वं सत्यं फलं जातमिहेतिहासी बालैः समं तालफलान्यभुङ्क्ताः. So he says, with Krishna, with this, the entire floor was covered with all the tree branches and everything, and also with all these jambu phalam, which was making that thing very pretty. But more importantly, he says, the gods are demigods are praising Krishna, saying that the tava avatarasya phalam. He says all these fruits that you are eating is, they're saying, the fruits of your incarnation is coming true because you're getting rid of all of these asuras. Because that was one of the main thing was, if you remember in 37th Dasakam, it says that there was still a residual karma left for a lot of the asuras, that they were continuing to be born. They were not fully gotten rid of, which is why Krishna, this avataram was happening. So you are getting rid of all of them, and the boys then enjoy the fruits of the Dhenuka phalam, which they came to eat there. Jambu phalam. Tavavatharasya phalam murare, sanjata madhyeti surair nutastvam satyam phalam jatamiheti hasi, balaihi, put is balais samam tala phalanya bhunktaha. It's one word. Tavaavatarasya phalam murare sanjatamadhyeti surairnutastvam satyam phalam jatamiheti hasi balai samam tala phalanya bhunktaha.
तवावतारस्य फलं मुरारे सञ्जातमध्येति सुरैर्नुतस्त्वं सत्यं फलं जातमिहेतिहासी बालैः समं तालफलान्यभुङ्क्ताः. तवावतारस्य फलं मुरारे सञ्जातमध्येति सुरैर्नुतस्त्वं सत्यं फलं जातमिहेतिहासी बालैः समं तालफलान्यभुङ्क्ताः.
तवावतारस्य फलं मुरारे सञ्जातमध्येति सुरैर्नुतस्त्वं सत्यं फलं जातमिहेतिहासी बालैः समं तालफलान्यभुङ्क्ताः. तवावतारस्य फलं मुरारे सञ्जातमध्येति सुरैर्नुतस्त्वं सत्यं फलं जातमिहेतिहासी बालैः समं तालफलान्यभुङ्क्ताः.
मधुद्रवसृन्ति बृहन्ति तानि फलानि मेदो भरभृन्ति भुक्त्वा तृप्तैश्च दृप्तैर्भवनं फलौगं बहद्भिरागाः खलु बालकैस्त्वम्. It's a 9 and 10 meaning together. Madhu drava srunti brihanti tani, put a plus, phalani medobhara bhrinti bhuktva triptaischa driptair bhavanam phalaugam, put a plus again, vahadbiragaha, put a ich sound, vahadbiragah khalu balakaistvam. मधुद्रवसृन्ति बृहन्ति तानि फलानि मेदो भरभृन्ति भुक्त्वा तृप्तैश्च दृप्तैर्भवनं फलौघं वहद्भिरागाः खलु बालकैस्त्वम्
मधुद्रवसृन्ति बृहन्ति तानि फलानि मेदो भरभृन्ति भुक्त्वा तृप्तैश्च दृप्तैर्भवनं फलौघं वहद्भिरागाः खलु बालकैस्त्वम् मधुद्रवसृन्ति बृहन्ति तानि फलानि मेदो भरभृन्ति भुक्त्वा तृप्तैश्च दृप्तैर्भवनं फलौघं वहद्भिरागाः खलु बालकैस्त्वम्
मधुद्रवशृन्ति बृहन्ति तानि फलानि मेदो भरभृन्ति भुक्त्वा तृप्तैश्च दृप्तैर्भवनं फलौघं वहद्भिरागाः खलु बालकैस्त्वम् मधुद्रवशृन्ति बृहन्ति तानि फलानि मेदो भरभृन्ति भुक्त्वा तृप्तैश्च दृप्तैर्भवनं फलौघं वहद्भिरागाः खलु बालकैस्त्वम्
हतो हतो धेनुक इत्युपेत्य फलान्यदद्भिर्मधुराणि लोकैः जयेति जीवेति नुतो विभो त्वं मरुत्पुराधीश्वर पाहि रोगात्. So with that, because Dhenukasura was gotten rid of, so now that forest everybody can visit, and then the boys also got a lot of those fruits back home. So everybody was like thanking Krishna, saying, Krishna, thanks to you that we can now get to enjoy these fruits, plus go to that forest. So Jaya Jaya, it's like victory to you. So with this way, Krishna, you then took care of the cowherds as well as all the boys and protected them again. Please, Marutpura Dishwara, O Guruvayurappa, please eradicate my ailments also. Hato Hato धेनुक इत्युपेत्य फलान्यदद्भिर् मधुराणि लोकैः जयेति जीवेति नुतो विभो त्वं मरुत्पुराधीश्वर पाहि रोगात्. हतो हतो धेनुक इत्युपेत्य फलान्यदद्भिर्मधुराणि लोकैः जयेति जीवेति नुतो विभो त्वं मरुत्पुराधीश्वर पाहि रोगात्.
हतो हतो धेनुक इत्युपेत्य फलान्यतद्भिर्मधुराणि लोकैः जयेति जीवेति नुतो विभो त्वं मरुत्पुराधीश्वर पाहि रोगात्. हतो हतो धेनुक इत्युपेत्य फलान्यतद्भिर्मधुराणि लोकैः जयेति जीवेति नुतो विभो त्वं मरुत्पुराधीश्वर पाहि रोगात्.
हदो हदो धेनुक इत्युपेत्य फलान्यदद्भिर्मधुराणि लोकैः जयेति जीवेति नुतो विभो त्वं मरुत्पुराधीश्वर पाहि रोगात्. हदो हदो धेनुक इत्युपेत्य फलान्यदद्भिर्मधुराणि लोकैः जयेति जीवेति नुतो विभो त्वं मरुत्पुराधीश्वर पाहि रोगात्. Shri Krishnaya Parabrahmane.
We'll switch. So Lalita, you can be a student, and Shailaja Naisha, you can be a student. Okay, so we'll now get into a series of 3 Dashakams which are all connected. So 54 is going to start with the reason why the Kaliya snake comes to Yamuna. Then 55 and transitioning to 56 is the Kali and Nardhanam, and 56 is the blessings that Krishna gives to Kaliya and the other snakes who are there. So those these 3 are connected. So 54, if you want to know the exact name, at least in my book, is Kaliyasya Yamuna Hrade Nivasasya Karana Varnana. The reason for Kaliya snake to come to Yamuna. Stanza 1. Tvatsevodka Saubharirnama Purvam Kalendyantar Dvadashabdham Tapasyan Meenavrate Snehavan Bhogalole Tarkshyam Sakshad Aikshataagre Kadachite. So starts with the story here saying, there's this rishi called Saubhari. So this Saubhari was performing tapas under the waters of the river Yamuna for like several years, underwater penance. Like we saw in in Dasakam 19, when you saw the Prachetas did tapas for thousands of years underwater, right? So they all able to sit under the water and do tapas. So the Saubari was doing that too. Now, it's just amazing some of these stories when you hear, right? So the Saubari, when he's sitting and doing tapas, one day it so happened that he saw, because there are fish under the water, right, in the river. So he saw some of the fish hanging out together and fish mating. He saw that. And somehow his mind got triggered. So he's a great rishi doing tapas underwater, but somehow, like he just slips, right? So the moment he saw these fishes all being together and the fish was giving birth and all that, somehow he got triggered saying, what am I doing tapas? And then so that's all Narayaneeyam says, but the story then goes on to say that he then ends up giving up his tapas and then going and approaching a king and asking for some daughters for marriage. And then he rejuvenates his body to be a young person. He gets married to multiple of the princes who are there. And later on, at some point in the future, he realizes what a mistake I have done. I had become so liberated. Now I gave up all that and came back because I couldn't control my senses. And then he comes back to tapas. So that's a completely different story, not in this, but it just says that one day he got very affectionate with the fishes which are actually out there because he felt like it was part of his family. And one day there, Garuda, or one of those eagle birds, comes there because Garuda preys on fish. So that bird is coming there one day. So that is what is there in the story. So we'll stick to that. So Tvat Sevotkas Saubharir Nama Purvam, Kalindyantar Dwadashabdham Tapasyan Meenavrate Snehavan Bhogalole, Tarkshyam Sakshat Aikshatagre. I'm just breaking at the dai for those who are following Sanskrit. Sakshat Aikshatagre Kadachit. Tvatsevodkas Saubharirnama Purvam Kalindyantat Dwadashabdham Tapasyan Meenavrate Snehavan Bhogalole Tarkshyam Sakshad Aikshatagre Kadachit.
तत्सेवोकसौ भरेर्नाम पूर्वं कालिद्यन्तर्द्वादशाब्दं तपस्यन् मेनव्राते स्नेहवान् भोगलोले तार्क्ष्यं साक्षात् ऐक्षदाग्रे कदाचित् तत्सेवोकसौ परिर्नाम पूर्वं कालिद्यन्तर्द्वादशाब्दं तपस्यन् मेनव्राते स्नेहवान् भोगलोले Tarksham Sakshat Aikshadagre Kadachit.
Lalita, the first word, Twat.
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 Okay, Twat say both. Okay.
Shailaja Nishanand, I think you're on mute.
Sorry, yeah. No, I had to step out for just a minute with my dog, so I'll continue from the next sloka, Rajeshji.
Okay. All right, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's a two. Twadvaham tam sakshudham trikshasунham meenam kanchid jakshatam lakshayan saha taptaschitte shaptavanatra chetvam jantun bhokta jeevitam chapi mokta. So this Garuda bird which is coming there, it comes to eat fish because that's what it survives on. So it keeps eating the fish there. One day what happens is it eats the leader fish, the leader of the pack. That fish, the Garuda bird comes and ends up eating. So the Saubari, because he's getting so attached to it, he's now beginning to think, if the leader goes away, if the leader is gone now, these fishes are all becoming clueless because they don't have a leader. So he then decides to curse this Garuda. He warns this bird saying that if you ever come here to eat the fish, I'm cursing that you are going to die, because he's a powerful rishi. So his words are going to work. Now, this is a very classic example, right, of us or anybody trying to think that we can control what else is happening in nature, right? Like Garuda eats the fish. That's its food, right? Now, this is somebody else beginning to feel attached to one side of the equation and trying to tell Garuda not to eat that fish, which is its food, right? So he's going and interfering with how nature is working right now. He's telling no to it. So that's what is going to trigger this whole set of episodes of things which are going to happen later, right? So anyway, he then tells Garuda, you cannot come here because he's getting so attached to the fish. So he says, you cannot touch any of the fishes which are in this river Yamuna here. Twadvaham tam sakshudham triksha sunum, meenam kanchid jakshatam lakshayan saha taptash chitte shaptavan atra chetvam, jantun bhokta जीवितं चापि मोक्ता. त्वद्वाहं तं सक्षुधं त्रिक्षसूनुं मीनं कञ्चित् जक्षतं लक्षयन् सः तप्तश्चित्ते शप्तवानत्र चेत्त्वं जन्तून् भोक्ता जीवितं चापि मोक्ता.
त्वत्वाहं तं सक्षुदं दृक्षसूनुं मीनं कञ्चित् जक्षदं लक्षयन् सः तप्तश्चित्ते शब्दवानत्र चेत् त्वं जन्तून् भोक्ता जीवितं चाभिमोक्ता. त्वत्वाहं तं सक्षुदं दृक्षसूनुं मीनं कञ्चित् जक्षदं लक्षयन् सः तप्तश्चित्ते शब्दवानत्र चेत्त्वं जन्तून् भोक्ता जीवितं चाभिमोक्ता.
त्वद्वाहन्तं साक्षुधं तृक्षसूनुं मीनं कञ्जिज्जक्षतं लक्षयन् सः तप्तश्चित्ते शप्तवानत्र चेत्त्वं जन्तून् भोक्ता जीवितं चापि मोक्ता. त्वद्वाहन्तं साक्षुधं तृक्षसूनुं मीनं कञ्चिज्जक्षतं लक्षयन् सः तप्तश्चित्ते शप्तवानत्र चेत्त्वं जन्तून् भोक्ता जीवितं चापि मोक्ता.
तस्मिन् काले कालीयः क्ष्वेलदर्पात् सर्पारातेः कल्पितं भागमश्नन् तेन क्रोधात् त्वत्पदाम्भोजभाजा पक्षक्षिप्तस्तद्धुरापं पयोघात्. This Garuda now leaves Yamuna and he goes all the way to Ramanaka Island, which is the island of Fiji. So the Fiji island is inhabited with snakes. There are a lot of snakes there. So he goes there because he also eats snakes. So there, in one of the areas, there were a lot of snakes. So what this Garuda used to do was he used to come, and every time he wants food, he used to come and grab some snakes. And some of the snakes he used to eat, other snakes he used to kill and not eat. So then, the snakes said, this is like unnecessary wastage of all these snakes. So they all decide that every time they'll give one snake for Garuda to eat. So Garuda agrees to that rule. So every time he comes, there's one snake he gets to eat. At that same place, there was another snake which had multiple hoods, right? That is the Kalia snake. And even if you go Google it, in Fiji, they used to worship a snake which had multiple heads, several heads which was there. That used to be like a serpent deity of theirs. So that is that Kalia snake which is there in Fiji. So snakes also eat snakes, right? Some snakes eat other snakes. So when they used to leave these snakes for this Garuda, this Kalia used to come and eat those snakes, right? So what happens because of that is there is now, I think it is, let me see if it is in this one. Okay, so then what happens is because this Kalia is eating the snakes kept for Garuda, there's a small fight that happens between Garuda and Kalia, and then Garuda with his heavy wings is able to slap Kalia out. So Kalia says, okay, I cannot live here in Fiji anymore. And somehow, I don't know how, but he comes to know that he cannot be there. So he ends up coming to Yamuna because Garuda cannot come there, right? So somehow they are kind of swapping places. So this Garuda is going from Yamuna to Fiji and Kalia ends up coming from Fiji to Yamuna river to settle down there. So Tasmin Kale Kaliyaha. You have to say that Visarga because Ksha is coming later. So Kaliyaha Kshvela Darpat, Sarparatehe, put a ich sound, Sarparateh Kalpitam Bhagamashnan, Tena Krodat Tvat Padambhoja Bhaja, Paksha Kshiptas Tad Durapam Payogat. तस्मिन् काले कालीयः क्ष्वेलदर्पात् सर्पारातेः कल्पितं भागमश्नन् तेन क्रोधात् त्वत्पदाम्भोजभाजा पक्षक्षिप्तस्तद्दुरापं पयोघात्
तस्मिन् काले कालीयः क्ष्वेलदर्पात् सर्पारादे कल्पितं भागमश्नन् तेन क्रोधात् त्वत्पदाम्भोजभाजा पक्षक्षिप्तस्तद्दुराबम्बयोगाद् तस्मिन् काले कालीयः क्ष्वेलदर्पात् सर्पारादे कल्पितं भागमश्नन् तेन क्रोधात् त्वत्पदाम्भोजभाजा पक्षक्षिप्तस्तद्दुरापं भयोगात्
तस्मिन् काले काळीयक्ष्वेलदर्पात् सर्पारातेः कल्पितं भागमश्नन् तेन क्रोधात् त्वत्पदाम्भोजभाजा पक्षक्षिप्तस्तद्दुरापं पयोगात्
Let's go to that first line. Kaliyaha. The visarga.
कालियः Yeah. तस्मिन् काले काळीयः क्ष्वेलदर्पात् सर्पारातेः कल्पितं भागमश्नन् तेन क्रोधात् त्वत्पदाम्भोजभाजा पक्षक्षिप्तस्तद्दुरापं पयोगात्
That's a purport. Ghore tasmin surajani तीरे वृक्षाभिक्षताः क्ष्वेलवेगात् पक्षिव्राताः पेतुरभ्रे पतन्तः कारुण्यार्द्रं त्वन्मनस्तेन जातम्. So now we come to the current time. So because this Kaliya now has migrated to this Yamuna river. Now the Kaliya cannot be in the Yamuna river itself because it's a poisonous snake. So if Kaliya remains in Yamuna, the entire river is going to get poisonous, right? And everybody all the way from Vrindavan, Mathura, everybody is going to get affected. So what this Kaliya is actually where he ends up is, he's a male snake though. So he ends up in a water body which is adjacent to the Yamuna river. So the river sometimes, flows and it creates like a big water body or a lake. So he's in that lake body. He's not in the actual river Yamuna. So in that lake body, in that lake area, he's settling down. Kaliya settles down along with his family. So a whole bunch of snakes are coming there, settling in there. Now, because of the poison that is coming out from Kaliya, the fumes of poison which are coming are so strong that it dries up everything around that lake. Because the vapors are going in, so the trees which are there, the trees are shedding the leaves. If any bird is trying to fly over that place, the bird comes falling into the water because it's so poisonous that it's emitting all these fumes, because of which that entire area gets dried up and there's a lot of deaths which are happening there of birds and other animals which are going and drinking that water. So at that time, O Krishna, when you come to know of this Karunyadram, you are feeling very compassionate about all these unnecessary beings dying, right, because of Kaliya's thing. So you then decide to take action. So Ghore Tasmin Surajanira Vase, Tire Vriksha Vikshataha, again that visarga, because this the Kshvela means poison. So because that Kaliya is poison is there, that Kshvela is going to come multiple times. So anytime there's a visarga before that, we have to say that visarga. So Vikshataha Kshvela Vegat Pakshivrataha, put a F to join, Pakshivrataha Peturabhre Patantah, Karunyardram Twan Manastena Jatam. Ghore tasmin surajani ravase tire vriksha vikshataha kshvelavegat pakshivratah peturabhre patantah karunyadram tvanmanastena jatam.
घोरे तस्मिन् सूरजानीरवासे तीरे वृक्षा विक्षताः क्ष्वेलवेगात् पक्षिव्राता पेदुरभ्रे पदन्तः कारुण्यार्द्रं त्वन्मनस्तेन जातम् घोरे तस्मिन् सूरजानीरवासे तीरे वृक्षा विक्षताः क्ष्वेलवेगात् पक्षिव्राता पेदुरभ्रे पदन्तः कारुण्यार्द्रं त्वन्मनस्तेन जातम्.
घोरे तस्मिन् सूरजानीरवासे तीरे वृक्षा विक्षताः क्ष्वेलवैगात् पक्षिव्राताः पेतुरभ्रे पतन्तः कारुण्यार्द्रं त्वन्मनस्तेन जातम् घोरे तस्मिन् सूरजानीरवासे तीरे वृक्षा विक्षताः क्ष्वेलवेगात् पक्षिव्राताः पेतुरभ्रे पतन्तः कारुण्यार्द्रं त्वन्मनस्तेन जातम्
काले तस्मिन्नेकदासीरपाणिं मुक्त्वा याते यामुनं काननान्तम् त्वय्युद्दाम ग्रीष्म भीष्मोष्मतप्ता गोपाला व्यापिबन् क्ष्वेलतोयम्. So one day, oh Krishna, you decide that the time has now come there. So all of you, when you go grazing, you decide to go to that area of lake of river Yamuna, which is where Kalia is settled there. And like we saw in Aghasura in 51, anytime there's an interaction with a snake which is coming, Balarama being Adishesha, Balarama doesn't accompany. So that's why here it says Sirapanim Muktva. So not bringing Sirapani, not bringing Balarama. All of you, the rest of you end up going grazing that day, and then you go to that area. And it's a very hot summer day, so the boys are all very thirsty, the cows are all very thirsty. So naturally, you all go there, and then you end up going to that water body which is there, and end up consuming that Kshvela toyam. Like I said, Kshvela means poison, toyam is water. So you end up consuming the poisonous water which is there in that area. Kale tasmin ekada sira panim, put a plus, muktva yate yamunam kananantam tvayuddama grishma bhishmoshma tapta. Some books may have taptaha. You can remove the visarga if you have it. Tapta, comma. Gopala vyapibhan kshvelatoyam. काले तस्मिन्नेकदासीरपाणिं मुक्त्वा याते यामुनं काननान्तम् त्वय्युद्दाम ग्रीष्म भीष्मोष्मतप्ता गोपाला व्यापिबन् क्ष्वेलतोयम्.
Gopalak Visargamunda.
Because if you're saying it individually, it will have Gopalaha, but because in the Vyapiban we are saying along with it together, the Visarga will not be there.
काले तस्मिन् एकदासीरपाणिं मुक्त्वा याते यामुनं काननान्तम् त्वय्युद्दामग्रीष्मभीष्मोष्मतप्ता गोपाला व्यापिबन् क्ष्वेलतोयम् काले तस्मिन् एकदासीरपाणिं मुक्त्वा याते यामुनं काननान्तम् त्वय्युद्दामग्रीष्मभीष्मोष्मतप्ता गोपाला व्यापिबन् क्ष्वेलतोयम्
काले तस्मिन्नेकदासीरपाणिं मुक्त्वा याते यामुनं काननान्तम् त्वय्युद्दाम ग्रीष्मभीष्मोष्मतप्ता गोपाला व्यापिबन् क्ष्वेलतोयम् काले तस्मिन्नेकदासीरपाणिं मुक्त्वा याते यामुनं काननान्तम् त्वय्युद्दाम ग्रीष्मभीष्मोष्मतप्ता गोपाला व्यापिबन् क्ष्वेलतोयम्.
नश्य जीवान् विच्युतान् क्ष्मातलेतान् विश्वान् पश्यन्नच्युत त्वं दयार्द्रः प्राप्योपान्तं जीवयामासि तद्राक् पीयूषाम्बो वर्षिभिः श्रीकटाक्षैः. So because of course the boys and the cows all end up drinking that water, and Krishna doesn't stop them. They all end up going and drinking the water, and then they all faint because it's poisonous water. So naturally they faint with that. So he says because Krishna, they all have no other protection. They have full trust and full confidence in you. So they had nobody else to protect them. Of course, it is you. So with you, with your Sri Katakshahi, with your eyes, you just look at them, O Krishna, and then the boys and the cows are then able to recover. Nothing happens to them and they come back. Nashyach Jivan Vichyutan Kshmataletan, Vishwan Pashyan Nachuta. Pashyan and Achyuta, but it becomes a double na there. So Pashyan Nachuta Tvam Dayardraha Prapyopantam Jivayam Asita Drak, Piyushambho Varshibihi, put a ish, Varshibish, Shri Katakshaihi. Nashya Jivan Vichutan Kshmataletan Vishwan Pashyan Achyutatvam Dayadraha Prapyopantam Jivayamasi Tadrak Piyushambho Varshibish Shri Katakshaihi.
नश्य जीवान् विच्युदान् क्ष्मातलेतान् विश्वान् पश्यन् अच्युतत्वं दयार्द्रः प्राप्योपान्तं जीवयामासि तत्राक् पीयूषम्भो वर्षिभिः श्रीकटाक्षैः नश्यन् जीवान् विच्युदान् क्ष्मातलेतान् विश्वान् पश्यन् अच्युतत्वं दयार्द्रः प्राप्योपान्तं जीवयामासि तत्राक् पीयूषम्भो वर्षिभिः श्रीकटाक्षैः
नश्य जीवान् विच्युतान् क्ष्मातलेतान् विश्वान् पश्यन्नच्युतत्वं द्वयाद्रः प्राप्योपान्तं जीवयामासि तद्राक् पीयूषाम्भो वर्षिभिः श्रीकटाक्षैः नश्य जीवान् विच्युतान् क्ष्मातलेतान् विश्वान् पश्यन्नच्युतत्वं दयार्द्रः प्राप्योपान्तं जीवयामासि तद्राक् पीयूषाम्भो वर्षिभिः श्रीकटाक्षैः.
That's a 7. Kim kim jato harshavarshatirekah sarvangeshyutyuttita gopasanghaः दृष्ट्वा अग्रे त्वां त्वत्कृतं तद्विदन्तः त्वामालिङ्गन् दृष्टनाना प्रभावाः. Then the boys then who recovered from, when they had fainted, they then woke up, they got up from that, and they know they have seen Krishna perform all these miracles and all these things. So they had absolutely no doubt that they ended up consuming something. They all fainted, and it's because of Krishna they survived. So Krishna, they then thanked you, and alingan means embracing you. So Krishna, they all came and embraced you and thanked you for getting them back, and they all are feeling a state of bliss. They all are feeling very happy, and that will come again in the 9th stanza, so we'll cover it then. So they all are feeling very happy and blissful, and then they embrace Krishna. Kim kim jato harsha varshati rekah, comma sarvangeshvit yuttita. So you cannot break that word, so you have to say the whole word together. Sarvangeshvit yuttita gopa sanghaha दृष्ट्वाग्रे त्वां त्वत्कृतं तद्विदन्तः, put a visarga comma, tadvidantah. Next line is will go away if you have it. Twamalingan drishta nana prabhavaah. Kim kim jato harshavarshatirekah sarvangeshvit-yuttita gopasanghaah दृष्ट्वाग्रे त्वां त्वत्कृतं तद्विदन्तः त्वामालिङ्गन् दृष्टनाना प्रभावाः. Lalita, mute lirke. Lalita, mute lirke.
किं किं जातो हर्षवर्षादिरेकः सर्वाङ्गेष्विद्युत्थिदा दृष्ट्वाग्रे त्वां तत्कृतं तद्विदन्तः त्वामालिङ्गन् दृष्टनाना प्रभावाः. किं किं जातो हर्षवर्षादिरेकः सर्वाङ्गेष्विद्युत्थिदा दृष्ट्वाग्रे त्वां त्वत्कृतं तद्विदन्तः त्वामालिङ्गन् दृष्टा नाना प्रभावाः.
Third line la is त्वत्कृतं तद्विदन्तः.
त्वत्कृतम्, ओके, त्वत्कृतम्.
किं किं जातो हर्षवर्षातिरेकः सर्वाङ्गेष्वित्युत्थिता गोपसङ्घाः दृष्ट्वाग्रे त्वां त्वत्कृतं तद्विदन्तः त्वामालिङ्गन् दृष्टनाना प्रभावाः. किं किं जातो हर्षवर्षातिरेकः सर्वाङ्गेष्वित्युत्थिता गोपसङ्घाः दृष्ट्वाग्रे त्वां त्वत्कृतं तद्विदन्तः त्वामालिङ्गन् दृष्टनाना प्रभावाः.
भावश्चैवं लब्धजीवाः क्षणेन स्फीतानन्दास्त्वां च दृष्ट्वा पुरस्तात् द्रागावभ्रुः सर्वतो हर्षबाष्पं व्यामुञ्चन्त्यो मन्दमुद्यन्निनादाः. So similar to the Gopa boys, the cows also which recovered, the cows also, animals also know, right, who is helping. So they also come to you, Krishna, and Harsha Bhashpam means they also are shedding tears of joy, thanking you, and they speak in their own words, they move, right? That's how they communicate. So they come around you and they also embrace you and move and thank you for helping and protecting them as well. Gavaschaivam labdha jivaha. Again, that visarga you have to say because ksha is coming later. Jivaha kshanena, comma. Spita nandas tvam cha drishtva purastat. Draga babruhu, put a is babrus. Sarvato harsha bhashpam, put a plus. Vyamunchantyo, in sound there. Vyamunchantyo mandam udhyan ninadaha. Gavaschaivam labdhajivaha kshanena स्फीतानन्दास्त्वां च दृष्ट्वा पुरस्तात् द्रागावभ्रुः सर्वतो हर्षबाष्पं व्यामुञ्चन्त्यो मन्दमुद्यन्निनादाः.
गावश्चैवं लब्धजीवाः क्षणेन स्फीतानन्दा त्वां च दृष्ट्वा पुरस्तात् द्रागावभ्रुः सर्वतो हर्षबाष्पं व्यामुञ्चन्त्यो मन्दमुद्यन्निनादाः. गावश्चैवं लब्धजीवाः क्षणेन स्फीतानन्दा त्वां च दृष्ट्वा पुरस्तात् द्रागावभ्रुः सर्वतो हर्षबाष्पं व्यामुञ्चन्त्यो मन्दमुद्यन्निनादाः.
गावश्चैवं लब्धजीवाः क्षणेन स्फीतानन्दास्त्वां च दृष्ट्वा पुरस्तात् द्रागावप्रुः सर्वतो हर्षबाष्पं व्यामुञ्चन्त्यो मन्दमुद्यन्निनादाः. गावश्चैवं लब्धजीवाः क्षणेन स्फीतानन्दास्त्वां च दृष्ट्वा पुरस्तात् द्रागावप्रुः सर्वतो हर्षबाष्पं व्यामुञ्चन्त्यो मन्दमुद्यन्निनादाः.
रोमाञ्चोऽयं सर्वतो नः शरीरे भूयस्यन्तः काचिदानन्दमूर्छा आश्चर्योऽयं क्ष्वेलवेगो मुकुन्देत्युक्तो गोपैर्नन्दितो वन्दितो भूः. So because like we consume alcohol, you get this state of excitement or in your body. So similarly, because they had consumed this poison, when these boys woke up and Krishna's blessing, they were feeling a state of bliss. They were getting all feeling very high. So they all were feeling very happy. So they're saying, Krishna, this is a miraculous thing. Like we consumed the poison, but now we survived because of you. But we all are feeling a state of bliss. So they all are saying this is actually a very wonderful thing to consume. So the boys are all very happy because they're all in a state of ecstasy right now, right? They all are feeling very happy and blissful there. Romanchoyam sarvato naha, put a ish nash sharire, comma, bhuyas yantaha, put a ich, bhuyas yantah, kachid ananda murcha, ascharyoyam Shvela Vego Mukunde, plus Tyukto Gopair Nandito Vandito Bhuhu. Romanchoyam Sarvato Nasharire Bhuyasyantah Kachidananda Murcha Ascharyoyam Shvela Vego Mukunde Tyukto Gopair Nandito Vandito Bhuhu.
रोमाञ्चोऽयं सर्वतो नः शरीरे भूयस्यन्तः काचिदानन्दमूर्छा आश्चर्योऽयं क्ष्वेलवेगो मुकुन्देद्युक्तो गोपैर्नन्दितो वन्दितो भूः.
Lalita, the first line, the sharire kapram comma irukku. Then third and fourth lines are together, okay?
Okay, sorry. Okay. रोमाञ्चोऽयं सर्वतो नः शरीरे भूयस्यन्तः काचिदानन्दमूर्छा आश्चर्योऽयं क्ष्वेलवेगो श्वेलवेगो मुकुन्दे धियुक्तो गोपै नन्दितो वन्दितो भूः
रोमाञ्चोऽयं सर्वतो नः शरीरे भूयस्यन्तः काचिदानन्दमूर्च्छा आश्चर्योऽयं यक्ष्वेलवेगो मुकुन्देत्युक्तोद्गोपैर्नन्दितो वन्दितो भूः रोमाञ्चोऽयं सर्वतो नः शरीरे भूयस्यन्तः काचिदानन्दमूर्च्छा आश्चर्योऽयं क्ष्वेलवेगो मुकुन्देत्युक्तो गोपैर्नन्दितो वन्दितो भूः
एवं भक्तान् मुक्तजीवानपि त्वं मुग्धापाङ्गैरस्तरोगांस्तनूषि तादृग्भूतस्फीतकारुण्यभूमा रोगात्पाया वायुगेहाधिनाथ. So with this Ugrarpa, you helped the cows, you helped the boys who consumed poison, who had almost fainted, who were about to die. You were able to help them out. You are full of compassion. Please eradicate all the ailments and the diseases I also have. So with this Dashakam comes to an end, where Kalia has come there and the boys all have recovered. Next to Dashakam is where Krishna is going to go and jump on Kalia, right? So evam bhaktan mukta jivanapi tvam, comma, mugdha pangair. I'm just breaking at that ra that is there, putting as a ir and a a is easy to break it. Mugdha pangair asta roghams tanoshi tadrik bhuta spita karunya bhuma, comma, rogat paya vayu gehadhi. Some books have vasa, but you can change it to natha to be just consistent. It means the same thing. So vayu gehadi natha. Some have natha, some have vasa. So evam bhaktan mukta jivan apitvam mugdha pangair asta rogam stanoshi tadruk bhuta spita karunya bhuma rogat paya vayu gehadi natha.
एवं भक्तान् मुक्तजीवानपि त्वं मुक्तापाङ्गैरस्तरोकांस्तनोषि दादृग्भूतस्फीतकारुण्यभूमा रोगात्पाया वायुगेहातिनाथ एवं भक्तान् मुक्तजीवानपि त्वं मुक्तापाङ्गैरस्तरोकांस्तनोषि दादृग्भूतस्फीतकारुण्यभूमा रोगात् भायो वायुगेहादिनाथ
एवं भक्तान् मुक्तजीवानपि त्वं मुग्धापाङ्गैरस्तरोगांस्तनोषि तादृग्भूतस्फीतकारुण्यभूमा रोगात् पाया वायुगेहाधिनाथ एवं भक्तान् मुक्तजीवानपि त्वं मुग्धापाङ्गैरस्तरोगांस्तनोषि तादृग्भूतस्फीतकारुण्यभूमा रोगात् पाया वायुगेहाधिनाथ.
Shri Krishnaya Parabrahmane Namaha. We'll end the class here today. Sandhanandhavabodhatmakamanupamitam kaladeshavadibhyam nirmuktam nityamuktam nigamashatasahasrena nirbhasyamanam aspashtam drishtabhatre punarurupurusharthatmakam brahmatattvam tattavadbhati sakshat gurupavanapure hanta bhagyam jananam कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियैर्वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृते स्वभावात् करोमि यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि. Thank you everyone. Enjoy Ashada Ekadasi today for those who are fasting.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Rajesh.
Thank you, Rajesh.